Cameras rolling and action. What is happening, beautiful people? Igama lami Usiphile, and welcome to another episode of Writings on the Wall podcast. This is episode number 24.
Yes.
24. You need Kobe.
I don't know.
Kobe. Kobe numbers. Dog. Kobe numbers. Big numbers. How's it, Maji?
Good.
Who am I with? Am I right?
No. On your right, you have Simphiwe. Simphiwe for the people.
Easy does it, Maji. How's it going?
Boo. No, go. I mean, it's been a chilled one, man. It's been a chilled one.
Easy Monday.
Yeah. Easy Monday. That's all.
You're breaking all the stereotypes.
Wafisha boy.
Last week, nekutunya.
Kudu. You know, but other than that, yeah, it was pretty chill. I mean, even the weekend, man, you know. Yeah, I had a chilled one. What did I do? Nothing. Yeah, I mean, besides watching sports, you know, Man U losing. Dog, as always, you know.
Dog. I won't take you when you slender. Dog,
yeah, but other than that, so far so good.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's September now, you know. So it's like, 4 months to go.
The week is, the year is flying, G.
So 4 months, like I was having a convo, just like, I mean, I'm not a resolution guy, you know, but I always like to start a year with something.
Okay.
You know, and I'm like, okay, I've done a few of my things that I like intended to do.
The goals.
Yeah, my resolutions or whatever. Yeah, so I mean, I was like, okay, nah. And I mean, still, I was also like doing projections, you know, and I'm like, some of them I probably won't even get this year.
Okay.
You know, so it's that thing to say, okay, you know what? I'm happy with the progress. Yeah, I had a few small W's, but then I'm not gonna tick everything,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But then I mean, again, I'm not now like depressed or sad about it. It's like, I bet.
There was something I saw, I think a while ago about my New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
That, or like just goal setting in general, that sometimes when you're setting goals, don't really set goals that are easy to attain.
Sure.
Because then you just take everything by UFEB. And then
yeah.
It's like, okay, the year is done, but you still have 10 months to go. So it's always like set goals that some of them you're like, okay, this might be impossible to, it sounds impossible to attain, but you work towards it. And I think that's the most important part is like you working towards it. And even if you don't meet the target, but at least you are in the direction of that goal, you know.
Fact.
But I mean, there's another side to it where you can set a goal too big and then you get demotivated.
Yeah.
So I guess what goals did you have? Like some of the goals you had? You think?
Nah, probably like, I mean, just gym, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I think because I mean, like, you know, with the gym, like, you just going to the gym for vibes, you know, but like, you never really gaining or losing or being shredded or being lean or getting strong. Like, you're just going to the gym because
Generally.
Yeah, what else are you going to do with your time, you know? So one of the goals was just like going there and being big, but also being lean, you know, like, just being lean and being able to see the muscular development. They're like, okay, there's a shoulder there, you know, there's a quad, there's lats and whatever. So I mean, and I think each gym is nice because it's something you can physically see happening. You know, it's not like self-improvement where it's like it's in the air. You know, you don't know if is it working, is it not. So like each gym, at least you see every day in the morning in the mirror, you can see, okay, there's triceps, you know, I'm cooking. So there was one of them, which I think I've still so much work to do, you know, still so much work to do there. But so far, so good. Another one was just the finances, you know, just getting the finances in order, man. Yeah, just new job, you know, clearing some debt, you know, and being like better with my finances and how I manage the finances, you know, trying to enjoy life, but also not just spend money like a baller. Yeah, one. Because I don't want to spend money. Yeah, I don't want to like spend money for the sake of I'm enjoying life.
Yeah,
you know, because then you'll be broke before or whatever, and it's like, but I enjoyed life. Like at what cost, you know?
I enjoyed life. What did it take?
Yeah, so it's
everything.
But I wanted to say something also with like your point on my resolution, you know, Uguti, and it ties into the conversation maybe. Uguti, I think the reason us as humans usually do the set easy goals is because we want the easy way to gratification.
Oh yeah,
you get me?
Yeah.
So it's like, if your goal today was to like get up and make your bed, it's like, I bet I can do that now, and I'm like, I feel maybe that's a very everyday mundane. So maybe you won't even feel your heat, your gratification coming in, But some of the things are like easy because I think your brain wants that easy way.
That instant gratification.
Yeah. It wants that easy way to, because if you think of losing weight, it's never going to be instant gratification, Even if you take whatever tea or whatnot, it's still going to take you a few days to get there, So I think maybe it's also that.
Recent months. Yeah, and you're bringing up now which is what we're going to be talking about, just the relationship we have with gratification itself.
Yeah.
And you spoke about instant gratification, and then you hear people talk about delayed gratification, which people usually, the specialists or that talk about it, always motivate us to lean more towards delayed gratification.
Yeah.
But it's such a tough thing to navigate because yes, it's good to lean more towards delayed gratification, but I think we also do need those instant gratification in our everyday lives, because then otherwise the journey is not worth it. I'll make an example with, like, on Sunday, yesterday actually, I got robed a kerk.
Yeah.
And generally the time it takes for someone to get robed is about 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's 6 months minimum. But then it can go on for long. It can be a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, right? From you saying, I want to commit to this organization, and then you journey with them, and then after 6 months, if you're ready, you get assessed, and then if you're ready, then you get robed, right?
Yeah.
But in my case, I came at an awkward time where the robing was, I think I was in month 4 or month 5 when the robing happened. So I didn't qualify with that group. So then I had to wait for the next one, which was recently. And I was having a conversation about, like, how are you feeling about it? Like, how are you feeling, dog? Like, you've waited this long, and now it's coming. And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't think I'm as excited as people would expect me to be.
Okay.
Especially because I've journeyed for such a long time. But then I had a moment with myself to be like, why am I not so excited? And then I realized, I think sometimes we look at the end result.
Sure.
And we like aspire. I wanna be this weight. I wanna achieve this thing. I wanna have 1 million rand. And we lose sight of the journey itself. So throughout my journey in the last year and a half or a bit, I've found ways to get gratification during the process.
During the journey.
Yeah, and I think those were my instant gratification. And then it allowed me to keep myself motivated in it. Like,
sure.
If I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to lead a service on a Wednesday, it's not a big thing in the sense that I'm not getting robed on the Wednesday, but I had to I then found a way to get joy from those experiences, get joy in falling, get joy in learning, get joy okay, you go into the gym and it's not nice, right?
Yeah.
And you think you're gonna feel better when you get to 60 kilogram and you're nice and trim, but finding those moments of, okay, pleasures throughout that painful experience allows you to keep at it. Which is what we don't have, because beginning of the year you want a resolution to say at the end of the year I want to be dead free, sharp 2, I want to weigh this much, I want this bulk, I want this, and we put those goals, we look at them and you say, but 20 kilogram. Putting on or losing 20 kilogram looks like it's far. On TikTok, the gym guys, when they post, usually, the question that people usually ask, how long did it take you? Even the ladies, when they post their weight loss, say, how long did it take you,
Bruh.
And the people will say 2 years and be like, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Thank you.
Never mind, know. So I think it's something that we really do battle with just in general, which is why I brought it up as a topic to be like, what is our relationship with not now the gratification, but rather the patience part of it.
Ish.
Your old lady used to always say when we grew up, patience, she had this thing in our family file, said patience is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't understand at that point, but now I'm thinking it's starting to come to like. But for you, what does patience mean for you?
Okay.
Like not the English definition of it, but just like your perception, understanding of what patience is.
Ish. Patience. Yo. Let me see. Let me think about it. Yo, man. I feel like, patience is the name of the game. It's proper.
Yeah.
Yo, but I think for me, patience is proper. Yeah, so I think patience is like aligning your expectations and your reality.
Okay.
You know, so I think that's patience for me, to say, this is what I'm expecting, but this is my reality right now. So I think actually 3 things, to say it's a formula of your expectations and your reality and your actions. You know, so I think those, because I mean, like, you can say, I want to lose weight.
Sure.
Right? And obviously, and so let's say, so you say you want to lose weight, or you want to clear debt, or you want to save up for something, right? Let's do saving. Let's say you want to save up 10K for something. Maybe you want to buy a car or whatever for 10K.
Yeah.
You know? But now, that's your expectation, right? It's 10K. And your reality right now is you do not have 10K.
Sure.
But then what are your actions in that? So that's why I was saying
the holistic thing.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, like, patience, I think, is a mixture of your expectation, your reality, and your action. Because now, if you're saying, okay, expectation here is 10K, my reality is 0K, but my actions is nothing, then you'll always just be there. So, you know what I mean? So then you can still say, I know. Then you can't really say, I'm learning patience if your action is not, you're not doing anything. You know what I mean?
So patience is a product of those 3.
Yeah, I think so. Like, same thing with losing weight at gym, right? If you say you want to lose weight at gym, so obviously your expectation is losing weight. Your current reality is the weight you have. But what are your actions then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So because if you doing the opposite of that, you can't then say, I know, let me just eat this pizza because I'm being patient. You know, it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
Well, how are you being patient if you eating pizza on the side, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're like, okay, let me go to the gym 30 minutes a day, you know, every day, I'm being patient, you know, I'm being patient that after 1 month, I'll see something. You know, after 2 months, I'm going to see something. You know, and then that's for me, that's how I think I look at it in terms of patience, to say, okay, what are my expectations? What's your current reality? And then what's your action?
Actions are you putting in place?
You know?
That's an interesting. Can we actually check the dictionary definition of it? I've never thought of it like that. I've never thought of it like that. And you cooking, like, you know, I'm always cooking. It's a nice way to think about it, because let me check. What patience is a virtue? Let's check what patience actually is. So patience is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. So it's the capacity to accept or tolerate a delay.
Yeah.
And then British, any of various forms of whatever. Okay, so it's capacity to accept or tolerate a delay, problems, or suffering without being annoyed. Without being annoyed. And that's a big thing, because then our ability to then accept the reality you have is understanding my expectation is this, which is something big on expectations. We're seeing a lot of conversations, I think, online. Let me switch this thing off because it's going to throw me off. We're seeing a lot of conversations online where people speak about expectations, but they never really take into account the reality and the actions. And we say
always expectations.
What do you even coming into a relationship? What are expectations coming into the relationship? I expect this, and that. Okay, but what's the reality?
You know what I mean?
You know,
like if a girl wants 1,000 roses every week, That's what's the expectation though.
That's the expectation.
Yes.
But what's the reality?
Yeah, boy. It's like, bruh, I can't be buying my roses for 10K every week. What's the expecting is good, but like I said, you need to make sure there's no mismatch between the expectation and the reality, and then obviously the action to say, okay, because I mean right now I can say, listen baby, I don't have a 10K for my roses 8,000.
Yeah,
I'd say okay, but then what are my actions? Am I working towards getting means to get those 1,000 roses? Then that's where you also say, I actually maybe Usi doesn't really like me that much, you know what I mean? Or Usi just wants to eat the cake and leave or whatever.
But they're not actually putting in the effort.
Yeah, because then you've set your expectation, you've set the reality. Then what are the actions?
No actions put in place.
So I think that's also that. And I mean, even sometimes I think, dog, the reality we in doesn't even afford us to have certain actions. You get me?
Okay, explain.
Like what? I mean, like if you do the example, you have 1,000 roses. It's like, even if they say, for instance, okay, the reality is there are no roses, there are no 1,000 roses. It just could be with our reality is it's not even a season yama rose.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever action you do, you're not going to get to that expectation.
So then I think when it comes to, and then the reason I think patience is the name of the game becomes a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
Is because coming into any environment that requires, I think, goal setting or expectations, patience has to be in the conversation. You can't talk about an expectation without patience. Because then if you don't have the capacity to withstand the fact that something is going to be delayed or won't come when you want, or even through suffering, then you know what are you actually doing? Like saying, for example, my expectation or the goal for this year is I want 10,000 rand in savings.
Yeah.
But if the reality is that you're getting zero at the moment.
Exactly.
So why are we setting expectations that are beyond what? And this is something that is happening quite a lot, especially in the age of social media. People are going to say, hey, in the age of social media where everything, people are putting their feet forward.
Yeah.
Best foot forward. Can't say fit because many people. They're putting their best foot forward on social media. They show the glitz and the glamour, and they show these things that look put together that we don't then have the patience to, okay, I am going to get to that point. But then this is what goes on. I was having a chat with one of my bros, bro.
Sure.
And we're saying a lot of the times people don't question, what does it say? People always judge the decisions and they don't judge the choices that you've had to make to get to that decision. Right? So you make a decision to say, yo, Muna, I want to start going to the gym.
Okay.
You go to the gym and you become ripped. You're obviously working in the dark. You're not putting out your journey online or wherever. You're not sharing. You're doing your own thing. You're struggling. You're having your own struggles. But no one ever questions how you got to saying, I want to go to the gym. No one ever questioned how you've had to say, okay, today I have two choices. I can eat cake or I can eat salad. Which one do I choose? I have to eat salad. And whenever now you come out as successful, they say, hey, but you are lucky, dog. You're lucky for them genes. You're lucky you get to go to the gym and stuff, And I think we honestly, taking it back to the expectations, siyabona what's happening in relationships.
It's too much.
We are what's happening
in
in our careers. Abandu are driving the nicest cars, dopest cars. We don't know what's obviously happening on the other side. You put an expectation to yourself to say, I want to drive a Lambo.
Yeah.
So my relationship, and we see how people are booking out stadiums for each other. You're buying the 1,000 roses. And for you, I'll ask from a relationship perspective, but also from a personal perspective. How do you go about then setting or managing your own expectations?
Yeah.
So that it doesn't fuel, because I think if you're setting these high expectations, then it just fuels the cycle of disappointment. You set my expectations are 1,000 roses, and then the reality is that I can't afford 1,000 roses. Therefore, I can't action. Then someone gets disappointed. But now you get stuck in that cycle of okay, Usiphile, every time Funama roses are Nick, the next expectation, Usiphile must take me to Dubai.
Loot.
You know, nothing is happening. So it eventually does affect the dynamics.
Yeah,
so when I like going into a relationship, do you ever have the conversations about those expectations? And what does the conversation look like? And then for yourself, career or just your life goals, what does the conversation look like for you in managing that conversation, in those expectations to allow you to have a better capacity? Because now we're talking capacity.
Yeah.
Capacity of...
We don't have the capacity.
Don't have the capacity.
We don't have the capacity. 5 rounds. Oh, Walid. We don't have the capacity.
Brothers does not have the capacity. Because now it's a capacity game. It's how much of it do you have? How patient can someone be is directly equivalent to how much can they stay waiting for something to happen. But at the same time, it's also how much they can withstand disappointment. I think to an extent that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I think if you're saying something is delayed, when they say your flight is delayed, you get disappointed.
Because you've planned with, okay, 5 p.m. I'm flying out. You
know, if you say I want to lose weight in 3 months, if it's delayed, you're going to lose your patience. Because your capacity is low. So, I think it's a capacity conversation now. So for you, how do you go about managing that expectation or navigating that expectation conversation in such a way that the person can be patient? If they are patient, are they usually patient or are they never patient?
If they're not, it's like, hey, peace out, you know. But I think, dog, it's like just being intentional, you know.
Okay.
I think you just have to be intentional about it. Not relationships, work, everything, you know. Because now I'm thinking of like when they say you need to set like SMART goals, you know, and like specific, measurable, and so forth and so forth. It's like, I think it's that. I think it's simple, just that. Maybe it's not even a conversation you have with your partner or your employee or whoever, but it's like just talking with yourself, right? To say, okay, I want to lose weight, or I want to buy my girl 1,000 roses.
No, come to the relationship.
Okay, yeah. So
you meet a lady, you're interested in her, and then what goes on in that context? Like when you say, okay, now you're coming into this setup. Do you have the expectation conversation? Say, these are the expectations I have of you, and then I ask you, these are the expectations she has of you.
No, not really. Not really. I mean, I think not really. Not really. I feel like, if I meet someone, let's say today I meet someone, you know, then I don't see the need for us to have that conversation.
At what point do you have the conversation?
Okay. Then I think at a point where now I feel like, okay, you know what? I want to be in a relationship with this person. I want to make them my partner, you know, and my girlfriend and whatever. Then we can have that conversation, you know. But for someone that I'm just courting and nyakshela, then I don't really have expectations, you know, for you. But you can say yes, you can say no, you can say no, young bora or whatever. So I don't really have expectations for someone at that stage of our like interactions.
Why?
No,
because if you're courting, there is an underlying expectation. You go to this person is gonna say no, or you want them to be interesting, or there's things that you look out for. I'm assuming I could be wrong. Maybe when you don't look for anything, you just like. It will depend on my vibes.
But like I'm saying, if you say like, let's say for instance, I can't now be saying I'm expecting you mangibuye emsebenzini ungiphekele 7 color dish.
Okay.
Like in Sakshela, you know what I mean? So that's for me, that's how I'm thinking about it, to say I can't now say, I know my expectation is that when I come through, I don't know, you need to yebo baba me.
So during that courting phase, there's no expectation from your side?
Okay. I think during that courting phase, it's pretty much just acquaintance, someone I know, you know, or trying to know, and then I know it's okay, we're just getting to know each other. And then maybe if the conversation starts to say, okay, let's get exclusive.
Sure.
You know, not even maybe let's be in a relationship, but let's get exclusive, meaning we're no longer talking to anyone. So, that's also an expectation, right? To say, okay, we've been talking, maybe let's say we've been talking for 3 months. I expect that now you're not talking to anyone. I'm not also talking to anyone.
Sure.
So that's an expectation. But we're not yet good relationship level to say, okay, now I'm expecting foot massage and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that is also just an expectation to say, okay, if now, let's say, obviously, if you meet the person in a mall or wherever you meet, church, work, wherever, there's no expectation. Whatever expectation you can have, they can just say no to it. Because they don't know you. It's like, okay, sharp, But then as you talk and you say, okay, maybe I like spending time with this person, Even that, right? Like, let's say now, if you call, you expect the person to pick up your phone. You get me?
Because I think in as much as the expectations differ at the different stages, but there are expectations. Because let me set this right. You're meeting someone at the mall, you greet them. You going up to them, there's an expectation as to they might respond this way or at desired outcome. Right? Yeah. They're gonna say yes, they're gonna give you their number, and then you're gonna meet them again, right? And during the talking stage, which is what is being called now, during the talking stage, there are expectations from both parties, either from your side and also from them, which is usually not communicated. Which is why my talking stages these days don't last. Don't ever amount to anything.
What are those expectations?
The expectation is, for example, during the talking stage, we text only, right? Or there are phone calls, or there are some video calls. All those things are expectations. Because some people, they don't like phone calls, so they would rather have a video call. Other people don't like texting. They actually prefer phone calls. So if those expectations misalign, then you're going to find that you're losing each other in communication. For example, in the good morning message, you don't have to send a good morning message to someone that is not your partner, right? But if the person that you are courting is a person, they know you're the first one that they thought about, then there's better outcomes for that courting phase. But now if you don't handle or if you don't manage those expectations at that level, by the time you decide when okay, actually for them, they might have gotten to a point to say, I've waited for this long.
This person, good morning.
This person is not. What makes me think he's gonna change now? When you're in a relationship. You know?
I guess so.
Do you understand?
I guess there's a lot of like expectations that we don't communicate.
Exactly. And those usually generate then because back to the formula that you introduced earlier on, which is brilliant. Like I said, I think I'm gonna apply that every time. Like, can we, what's expectation? What's the reality? Because the expectation for them might be, I want you to take me out on dates every Friday.
Sure.
What's the reality? Reality is that we're not in a relationship.
Exactly. Simple.
You understand?
Simple.
We're not in a relationship, and I'm not a person who takes people out on Amara restaurants if we're not in a relationship. And that on its own it's important to communicate, because then the person's capacity, the lady's capacity or the guy's capacity to withstand a talking phase in 3 months might be very low. And if you can communicate those expectations early on, it's a thing of, okay, cool. You say you're interested in me.
Yeah.
Mina, I for me, something that allows or fuels my patience capacity or my capacity to wait, or a patient bar. What can we call it? I must coin this. A patient battery or patient levels, whatever, is dates, is effective communication. It is checking up on me. It is being a supportive person during the courting phase. That then allows them to be a lot more patient. We'll take it even further to say, even in a relationship, you through the courting phase, now you're dating someone, being in a relationship with someone, and now marriage is a conversation, right?
That's another one.
There's ladies will say, I will never wait 5 years
for marriage.
If he hasn't proposed in 5 years, I'm out. Abanye will say, Tina, I'll wait 10 years in a relationship. And that's a patience conversation.
Expectations.
Exactly. Because they expect certain things, but during that 5 years, there's things that need to take place for you to get to, okay, right now, I'm going to say yes to you. I'm going to wait for this person for 5 years. And I think it's those things that happen during that period that allow the person to be a lot more patient.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense how someone can quit 1 year, say, I mean, this guy in 1 year he's not showing any signs of good and another person can stay 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, 1 year, other one is more patient, let's say same age group.
Yeah.
But they're just more patient because of what's happening within that
and journey
and managing disappointment. You introduced you spoke the other day. You were speaking about what is that thing about because now I think the waiting 10 years thing taps into that domain here, delayed gratification and instant gratification. And you had what was that thing? Just putting something forward, saying I'm gonna buy it in 2 weeks.
I don't know. Planning
the money thing, man. When you were saying, the one we're talking about, dog, the other day, when you're saying, you read somewhere also on YouTube, when you saving, if you want to buy an iPhone, for example, you say you don't buy it now, you buy it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
What was that concept?
No, it's that though. It delayed gratification.
Yes, but you were explaining it. You're breaking it down for me.
No,
how's the guy breaking it down?
So I was saying, dog. So what was I saying? So yes. So I think it was more to do with like your feel good hormones, right?
Yeah.
And like your dopamine hits and your whatever. To say if
let me double check this thing, bro.
Sure. So I think also like what had happened is they did an experiment with rats. Right?
Sure.
But I mean, it's like way back though. They did an experiment with the rats.
They always towing rats.
Bruh.
They always towing rats.
Where what was happening is, let me think again. What was happening? I think it was, so there was a ladder, right? There was a ladder. And if you climb the ladder, you get food there, right? And then if you don't climb the ladder, I think you get like a smaller portion, but of the food.
Same for this up there.
Yeah. So like, I mean, let's say for instance, if you climb the ladder, you get 4 slices of bread. If you don't climb the ladder, you get one slice of bread, you know? And what the scientists had found there is all of these rats were no longer climbing the ladder. You know? Because what was happening is they knew there's this instant gratification of getting 1 slice versus having to suffer the climbing. You know, having to climb the ladder, but then ultimately you get 4 slices of bread. You know?
At the
top. But then the climbing of the ladder for the rats was like, you know what? I'd rather just chill, get my 1 slice, go home. You know, and that's what they found. Same thing, same mechanism in humans happens. Uguti, Tina, we'd rather say, okay, you know what? I mean, not even to say settle for something less, you know, but like we prefer that instant gratification over. So what that guy was saying, and then it was more on the finances side. Uguti, let's say for now, I want to buy sneakers. So like new sneakers came out today, you know, and now the thing is, I can now buy the sneakers today, be happy, you know, I have the sneakers, and wear the sneakers, I look fresh, and then continue with my day, you know. So going back to the example of the rats, it's no longer it's the same sneaker, you know. It's no longer 4 slices and 1 slice anymore. So it kind of changes. Because then for us, it's like, why wait if I'm still going to buy the same sneaker or the same shoe? You know what I mean? But that guy, like I said, it was more on the finance. He was saying, usually, abantu that impulse buy, and we all impulse buy, is for this instant gratification, right? To say, imagine if you give me a dog, let's go buy KFC. Your inner child is going to be excited. Because, hey, let's go.
I never used to eat this.
KFC, let's go. You know, but if I say, let's record the episode and let's go buy KFC after, you're actually going to feel more fulfilled. Because 1, you've chowed an episode. and 2, you're now eating. Yeah, bon? And you're gonna feel more fulfilled versus if I say now, let's go buy KFC and then we just scrap the episode. After you've chowed KFC, you're gonna still think, but damn, I could have recorded the episode. And still got the KFC. You know? And I mean, another what is it? Another like how it could play out is we finish a recording episode and we actually like, bro, actually we don't even need to buy KFC. You know, like we don't even need it. This thing at KFC was just to make an example. We don't even need to buy KFC. You see what I mean? So that's what this guy was saying. Good, yeah. If he wants to buy, like even if you're walking a mall and you see nice sneakers or you see some snacks or you wanna buy or whatever, what he does, Uti, you open your reminders, your app. You open your reminders or your calendar app or your whatever app you use to like schedule things, or plan. You do 30 days, you put buy sneakers, but then you put a date, you shift it to 30 days. So today is E2, so it's gonna say maybe E2 October or end of September. If I see let's say maybe I see some nice sneakers today, but I'm like, you know what? Let me set a reminder to actually buy them
end of
the month or beginning of next month, beginning of October. Yeah, but what's that now how this is I guess more powerful is instead of now getting that instant gratification hit, you know, and buying the sneakers and moving on, the expectation of buying the sneakers for the next 30 days is gonna carry you. You know what I mean? It's gonna carry you until the 30 days. And it could even happen, Gucci, by the time it comes to that, he said, actually, I don't even need to buy the sneakers. You know? But the thing is now, you were feeling good throughout the 30 days. You see what I mean? So I think they were saying that. And I remember I made that example with if your girl wants to take you out on a date, or you want to take her out on a date. And I mean, it's another trick also I learned from another book to say, don't set a date 1 week in advance or 2 weeks in advance, you know? And basically it just helps with that. Girl now is going to say, but then what am I going to wear? You know, is it going to be a hot day? Is it going to be a rainy day? But no, what's happening is obviously that running in her mind is helping you, you know, win in the long run. Now girl is all she's thinking about is Usiphile. Yo, there's this guy, you know, he's going to take me out on E15. You know, he said this and this and this. But if you say, let's go out tomorrow, it's like, I mean, high chances she's even going to say, I know, I have plans for tomorrow.
Yeah. And or even if you say, let's go out tonight, there isn't that, like you're saying, you're speaking about it from a perspective like the dopamine hits. There's less of them. It's one.
There's less, yes.
And I think this explains, that's why I was like, this explains then why our fuels again the patience thing, to say if you put a shoe to the future, say I'm gonna buy it at the end of the month. You even made an example the other day to be like, now in the 30 days you're looking up shoes, you're looking up the prices, you're looking at the fits that it's gonna go with. And I think it then gives meaning to the activity of buying a shoe. Whereas if you just buy a shoe, there's literally no meaning to it.
Like tomorrow you forgot it.
It's like, the shoes here.
It's just chilling there.
Exactly.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why then there's a lot of emphasis on that delayed gratification thing, because then you give meaning to things, or it's a more meaningful experience.
Yes.
You know, going on a date is just going on a date objectively, but going on a date in 2 weeks or at the end of this week, like on a Friday, for the next couple of days, it's like, okay, now the build up. How does it work? Okay, you know, what's going to happen? You know, I'm so nervous. Every day at the office, it gives meaning to the whole week. And I think Tina, we've lost sense of that aspect. Because now, TikTok, you scroll through, there's a nice video every other 2 videos, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna get this hit. Yeah, I'm happy. You laugh, and then you back
and
down.
Then it's down again.
And we're not actually practicing, and that's why we sitting today. Things are meaningless.
Yeah.
You know, God, everything is just meaningless. And it's killing. I think it's killing us. You know, it's killing us. It's killing our relationships.
Yeah.
But I also remember when we were chatting, and I was saying, with the thing at date.
Yeah.
Because I'd heard something. I can't remember where they were talking about a similar concept, but in the sense of what leads to breakdown in trust.
Okay.
And then it's because if you say I'm going to take you out on Friday, there's that build up of emotions. You know, there's a dopamine hits every other day, and the person gets there. Then on Thursday, when you disappoint them, they drop.
Eesh.
And the problem with that is that every time you make a promise, even to yourself, to say, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to do this next week, is you build up that expectation. I'm going to buy the shoe. There's 2 things that can happen. One is at the end of the month, you say, actually, I don't need the shoe. I was probably just sad then. Or, nah, dog, this shoe is not as what I thought it was. But most important, the other side is you make this promise to yourself and you work hard towards it. And when you get there, you don't do it. Then it drops. And then the threshold, not the threshold, but the plateau, the place, like your maximum, drops every single time. And that's what happens in relationships. You make a promise, someone disappoints you, then it drops. You make a promise, someone disappoints you, and it drops. And I think it then affects even the capacity about, which is the patience that we've spoken about, to say, dude, every time when you say you're going to buy me a KFC, you didn't buy me. What makes me think that you're going to marry me in 5 years? Now that messes up that patient conversation. That also applies, I think, in our relationship with ourselves, to be like, Simphiwe, you know, every time you said, dog, you're going to eat clean for a week. You're saying, you're talking to yourself. Every time you said you're going to eat clean for a week, you haven't done it. So what makes you think you're going to do it? And every time you make another promise, and that's why that, when I was saying, in this long journey of life, dog, like even the journey that I had, having those moments where you get that it's not an instant gratification. Because I remember I was saying instant gratification then. I think it's those dopamine hits. Those okay, I'm finding joy here. It's when you look up the outfit. Okay, yes. I'm gonna style it like this. When you are saying I'm gonna marry you in 5 years, what are we doing during that 5 years? Let me put in the effort. Let me take you out on dates. Let me get you a gift. Let me show you spoke about intention. Let me show the intention around setting the expectation, looking at the reality. I can't do it now, but the action is then pointing towards. And that's what actually it's what influences how patient a person can be.
I think so. I mean, I feel like what do you want to say, Konj? Yeah, to that point, right? Of now, every time you like have an expectation and you fail to go to it, it drops. You know, like every time. And same thing with you like going to the gym. You know, it's like what is it? If you start by saying, you know what, let me not go today, I'll go tomorrow. You know what I mean? So when tomorrow comes, you're like, okay, let me do today. You do it, but the following day, like, I know, let me not go. I'll go the following day, you know? So you start skipping those days like that. You start messing up your schedule. And what ends up happening is like, but I know that I can go the following day, you know? And you're like, okay, the following day comes, maybe say an emergency or whatever takes you. So now you can't go that day. So you've missed 2 days at the gym, you know?
And 2 days is a lot.
2 days is a lot.
It will throw you off.
And then you end up saying, you know what? I might as well skip the whole day, the whole week. You know?
Or come back again the following week.
I'll come back the following week, you know? So, and same thing where, and now even like companies have capitalized on that.
Okay.
You know, hence you see gyms having promotions at the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, because
you see what I mean?
Everyone is excited.
Everyone is trying to say, okay, this year I'm going to a gym.
I want to be different.
But this year I'm going to a gym. They get you in the 24 months contract. You locked in. What is it? I mean, end of Jan, you've stopped. yeah.
Second week of Jan, dog. Because now work has started. Now it's like, this new schedule. How am I gonna do it? How am I gonna what?
You know, you're like, I know I'm gonna start during the holidays. You know, already it's charged. You know, so I think it's that, and I mean, I think also it goes back to what is this thing of like saying what are your expectations, what's your reality, and then what are your actions. You know,
sorry, you want to say something?
No, essentially what I wanted to close with, Uguti, it's what is it? It's unfortunate that in reality, you know, we don't have control of it, or rather, like we don't know what's going to happen in the next hour. Yeah, but so in as much as you can have an expectation to say by December, I want to be 20 kgs down, or I want to save this much, I want to get married or whatever. The reality is you don't have control of the circumstances
around it
that happen.
But I want to challenge that, bro.
Sure.
In the sense that there are elements to our reality that we don't have control over, but then there's the other side where we do.
Okay.
You mentioned the study about the rats and the ladder. The rats that ate the one sly, their reality was that they could just climb up the ladder to go get 4.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times we get into spaces where we settle for less.
Yes.
Simply because we're not patient enough to climb up the ladder, and we don't want to put in the work.
Yeah.
Because in that scenario alone, someone did this thing, bro. Oh, it was wild. I don't know where I got it from, but it was wild.
Yeah.
They say when you're standing as a person, yeah, bro,
Okay.
you're chowing a cookie or you're chowing a chips,
Yeah.
bro, and the chip drops,
Okay.
right? You're not gonna eat it, right? It drops in front of you.
Yeah.
Also yield, like maybe on the inside of your foot.
Okay.
It drops and it stays there. On the other side of the foot, there's an ant.
Yeah.
What's an ant? Mbovan.
Okay.
What's an ant in Zulu?
Anti.
Yeah.
Into one.
Yeah, whatever. So there's ant on the other side, right?
Yeah.
For you as the person, as when Usiphile, the chip and the ant are both in the future.
Okay.
But for the ant, the chip is in the future because it hasn't moved around the foot to get to the chip, right? All the ant has to do is move around the foot to get to the chip. So in terms of reality, the ant is in close proximity with the chip. All it has to do is to move around to get to the chip.
Yeah.
And so there are elements that are within our control in which we don't want to utilize or maximize on.
Yes.
For example, in the gym, we'll use the gym let me use a relationship for an example.
Okay.
I think we have relationships with people, work, friends, family.
Yeah.
I'll use for friendships. People are settling for friendships that are mediocre, that aren't introspective, and that don't facilitate growth simply because they're not patient enough to build deeper connections. Because building a deeper connection with someone requires you to see them and for them to see you for who you really are. But we don't want that. So what do? I'll keep it superficial. Asambe, let's go groove every day.
Yeah.
Let's not have any conversations about that are technical. And because of that lack of patience, I guess, to wait for the right friendship or to build that right friendship, we settle for my friendship that stay on surface level friendships. And so in terms of reality, the reality is that you can build a deeper connection with someone. But if you don't have the capacity for the delay, then you're not going to be able to build something proper. Even in romantic relationships, I mean, I'll just choose someone who looks pretty.
Yeah, and keep it moving.
There's going to be a lot of pretty people that you're going to meet in the world, but for you to build a deeper, meaningful your romantic relationship with someone, there needs to be so many things that need to happen beforehand. It's not just about how they look, it's about who they are. And for them to see you, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be open. They have to be open.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the patience, it reminds them of like, dog, this relationship is not exciting. Because this person is not really showing me for who they are. But understanding, Abantu come from different backgrounds and they have different realities, right? But within that reality that you guys are creating, if you can be patient enough, you can control some aspects. Some of them you can't.
True.
I can't control who I meet, but I can control what I do with the person I meet.
Yeah.
You know, I may not be able to control what happens if I go to the gym, but I can control what I do when I get to the gym. If nglimele, then nglimele sharp, whatever. But what am I actually, back to the thing, the action and the intent. What's my intention and what's the action I'm taking to basically make sure I go to my expectation, or I'm getting closer to my expectation? You said you had your financial goals beginning of the episode. What did you do during the year? The reality was that you didn't have 10K at the beginning of the year. That's the reality. But did you have control towards saving? Saving towards it?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Were you patient enough? Yes, you were. Did you get close? Yes, you did. Did you achieve it? Maybe not. But the action and the intent and the reality allows you to at least get closer to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what fosters that positive relationship we have with ourselves. And these things don't happen in isolation, bro. They bleed over.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah. That's the issue. How much you see problems, you're like, hey, where's this coming from? And you're like, hey, yo, God, it's from whatever that you never dealt with, you know?
But not even the thing that you never dealt with is another area. For you say, Espani, I'm great. But relationship, I suck. Because Espani, you are able to, like relationship, like, in relationships, you are terrible and you wonder why it's spilling over to your work as well.
Yeah.
Because you're not practicing the basics of things like like patience. You know, there's this famous verse. I don't want to preach, Machi. But there's this famous you got to take it back to the Bible. There's this famous verse, Jeremiah 29, for I know the plans I have for you.
Yeah.
Right? There was a sermon, bro, at church. Like the sermon was, like it was eye-opening.
Yeah.
In the sense that people always refer to that verse within a context, Yogoti, yeah, but God is going to make it happen for me. Yeah, you know, if I want this, God is going to make it, for I know the plans I have for you. He knows the plans he has for me, so I'm going to get this job.
Yeah.
That's generally the tone people use. But the verse is, like the context from which the verse was taking place it's intense.
Yeah. No, it's going down there.
It was going down, bro. It was going down, and it was said so that people can be comfortable with staying in exile for a very long period of time.
70 years.
70 years. With the potential of them not ever seeing the freedom taking place.
Yeah.
So if someone came to you and I said to you, listen, my brother, you might not be able to break the generational curse. You enjoy the wealth and the riches.
Yeah.
But your grandkids are going
to benefit.
What's the thing that comes to your mind? Dog, screw this.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I might as well chow my money and eat. Let me eat my money right now.
They gotta grind for themselves, you know. Yeah. And that's the context of that verse. And you know, we're not our capacity to withstand the suffering and the delay. I think is at an all-time low.
Yeah. Now that I get you. That I get you. And I mean, I think there was another research done also about callousing your mind, right?
Yeah.
Callousing your mind and willpower. You know, and apparently some of the neuroscientists are now saying there's parts of your brain that grows larger if you have a lot of willpower.
Okay.
But then it also grows, it shrinks if you don't use your willpower, or you don't callous your mind, or you don't use your willpower. So what they were looking at David Gorgon, right? And they were like,
who's gonna carry the boat,
bruh? And apparently, it was basically a thing of like the things the guy does. It's like it's not like, okay, anyone could have done that. You know, anyone could have done it, but then the conversation was the willpower to do it. You know, so it's like anyone can do it, but no one's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's only David who's actually doing it, you know. What was I talking about, God? Why did I bring that up?
So the neuroscience, because I was
what were you saying?
What did I refer to? I was referring to the people in exile that had to stay and be patient and basically accept.
To say, you said it's an extreme all-time low, right? And I was saying, I think it's because of willpower. We don't exercise willpower yet, you know? Like, who was saying, someone else was saying, now we live, the time we live in now it's the best time ever. Reason being that almost everything you want, it's easy to get. You know, you don't need to struggle to, I don't know,
get anything, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like anything.
Before, if you're wondering, you remember when I was just saying now, where am I going to meet someone? You just go on Tinder.
Bruh, like,
if you're in a relationship, there's Tinder. If you want food, they'll bring it to you. If you want
money, take out a loan.
Yeah.
You know, bruh, like everything is easy.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want it, BMW, right? We can go right now at dealership.
Yeah.
Take out a loan back. Take out the
PM.
PM. You see what I mean? Like everything is easy right now. And that basically is creating issues now because willpower is actually shrinking.
Yeah.
And the part of the brain that is in charge of your willpower is shrinking. Yeah. So it's basically in natural selection. Right? But if you use it,
use it or lose it.
Yeah. If you use it more, it's gonna grow. Right? If you don't use it, it's gonna shrink. So I think that is what's happening now with us, and obviously with patience, also because patience and willpower are kind of like
I have a close relationship.
Yeah. So it's basically that's happening. We live in a proper time now. Like all things aside, it's a proper time.
And someone had seen someone say, an easy life never built a great character.
Yeah,
and we don't have characters.
Exactly.
Because from what you're saying, our willpower is low. Like if
too much.
But it's also challenged them. I think it's challenged the most, but we're just losing the battle because in the sense that if something is so easy, like if you want cake at 9:00, you can just go and Uber Eats now and you'll get it. And now you're like, should I fight? Should I fight? But unfortunately, because it's so easy to access as a Zindo, we're fighting a losing battle. You know, if there's two choices, walk to the taxi rank or just request something to come to you. You know, think, dog. Even if it was the same price, you'd be like, I'm not walking to the taxi rank. But walking to the taxi rank had benefits. Because you have to walk, get tired, feel it. But what you have to basically get to this thing so that it can take you to a certain destination. And that's probably then why, or explains why Siganje, when I was saying
100%.
The patient levels or
it's too low.
At an all-time low.
If you think about it, right? How much does it take you from here to Sente?
I don't know.
You know, 15 rands.
Yeah, that's
you know. But in Uber,
more expensive.
It's like what, 150?
Actually, yeah. So there's more incentive to use the taxi.
There's more incentive to use it because you can use the taxi as many times as you want, and you still have change left to use. You know.
But I guess then it speaks to when you say there's more incentive. It depends what the incentive is.
Yes.
Because I think now our incentives have moved away from saving imali, because the incentive is saving cash. But the incentive we want is convenience.
Yes.
And because we live in an age of convenience, it's kind of distorted our expectations of life.
Incentive also is just you and your physical well-being, right?
But that's why I'm saying we've now that's another incentive. Right? But we are now at an age where the incentive we want is convenience or nothing. And unfortunately, we look for convenience in everything that we're doing.
Everything.
So at the
dating, traveling,
at the sight of an inconvenience,
it's like
we're out. Usiphile is asking me to do this for him.
Dog. Bye, peace.
Ugel is asking me to do this. Give him court. Dog.
You know, peace out.
Do you know how many girls I can go swipe right on? And I think. So
I think that is probably our downfall, right? And that's why I always advocate for people to do something physical every day. You know, I just like going to the gym. It doesn't even have to be that. You know, now this is just me and my own life philosophy to say, because now anyone watching or listening is going to say, okay, cool, these guys are spitting, but how do I then like my willpower, how do I increase the part of my brain that is in charge of my willpower? You know, and there's no apps to watch or videos to watch or whatever.
There's no easy way to do it.
There's no easy way to do, and I mean the easiest way to do it is getting physical.
But there's something like
with your body, right? To say okay, because now I mean, hey, yo, chill. Like if you can say, for instance, if you go to the gym, you know, if you get to the gym, maybe you can only lift 2 kgs. You know, you lift 2 kgs. Okay, cool. That's your base. You know, and that's your willpower. Yeah, but say tomorrow you lift 3 kg and it's hard. The following day you lift 3.5 kg and it's even way harder. You know, but what that's gonna then do, one is it's always gonna challenge you physically, but it's also gonna challenge your willpower. You know, to say, okay, cool. I mean, like I always say, a gym is not nice. You know, but people still do it. Meaning there's something more that people are looking for outside just looking ripped. You know, because if everyone was saying, I mean, everyone does, hopefully everyone wants to look ripped, you know, but then
everyone wants to be healthy.
Yes, but not everyone is at the gym.
Yeah.
You know, and the easy part of it, going to the gym is easy, but it's the willpower of keep going at the gym that's hard. You know what I mean? And so things like that, walking is a nice one also. You know what's okay, cool. You walk 30 minutes, you walk 15 minutes, you walk an hour, you walk 2 hours. Again, it challenges you physically, but also more than that, it challenges your willpower. Same guys, the guys that run a marathon. Hey, those guys are strong, man. You know, like willpower wise. Yo, because then, dog, you feel, I don't know what, like when your stomach is, like there's something, like it's bobo or something.
It's called a stitch. Apparently it's called a stitch.
Yeah, you see, bruh, that thing is painful.
Yeah.
You know, and like when I run, I usually feel that. And for me, that's usually my point. I know.
I'm done.
That's it for me. That's it for me. My willpower is gone.
This is where we stop.
But I've been challenging myself to say, okay, listen, easy, run through it, you know, and you would feel it, kicking dot, and that, I don't know what creates that thing.
Apparently, it's I could be wrong. Someone might correct me, but apparently it's the diaphragm cramping because the diaphragm.
Like going up and down.
Yeah, so because it's a muscular layer.
Sure.
Apparently, when it cramps. Because like usually when you breathe, you use the diaphragm.
Yeah.
So when the muscles cramp, that's what actually causes that stitch. And so to help with the stitch, again I could be wrong. This is not a medical advice. It's just something I've heard. To help, you take deep breaths to basically get a control and incorporate the diaphragmatic breathing, where you breathe in with your tummy knot, with like bringing into your lungs. For it to expand and then letting it out. So then it allows, it's like basically stretching your leg when you get a cramp. And then you continue. Apparently that's what it is.
Dog, I'm telling you, my G. Like when I used to run, that was my thing. I was like, I bet. You know,
this is where it is.
After, even if it's like 10 minutes or 20 minutes of running, I'm like, I bet. But like that's what I've been trying to do now, you know,
to push a bit more.
Yeah, just run through it, run through it. Or if you feel like I know, walk through it.
Yeah.
You know, so
just basically to exercise incorporate or to adopt the mindset of if I start something, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
I'd seen a similar a video about I don't know which podcaster was saying this, that if they say they're gonna run, I think it was Stephen Bartlett said, if I'm gonna run 10 kilometers or something miles, but if I say I'm gonna run 10 kilometers on the treadmill, then I run the 10 kilometers on the treadmill. If I have to finish the 10 kilometers in walking or gasping through it, I have to get to 10 kilometers because then that all of it, it speaks to the firstly the willpower that you spoken about, but it also fosters a positive relationship or fuels up the amount of patience we have.
Yeah.
Because waiting to get to 10 kilometers requires patience, and I think maybe it's those podcasts where, to basically remember how important patience is and how much of it have we lost along the way because of prioritizing convenience. You know, what's that thing called? We are having soft life. We're in a soft life era and people just want things that are soft. And unfortunately, in the chase or in the pursuit of the soft life, we've lost sense of, or the essence of patience. We've lost the essence of resilience. We've lost the essence of
willpower.
Willpower and being able to say no to things and being able to say yes even when it's not desirable for us. For example, I have to go walk outside because walking, you just walk outside, right? But I have to say yes to that. And I think that's something we don't realize. You have to say yes to so many things, but if you chose to automate those decisions, say, I'll just say no. I'll just say no. I'll just say no. You not making a decision is you saying no, I don't want to go to the gym. And that's fostering that negative thing. Can you open the thing? There's 3 questions there that I think can also allow people out there just to, as a point of reflection, to be like, okay, what does thing look like for me? But I think another thing, practical, because you spoke about walking, another practical one is the one you've spoken about earlier, about putting things to the future. But not tasks. Not I want to do something, but I'll do it in the future. No, but putting the goals to the end. To say, okay, I want to buy a shoe at the end of I want to buy a shoe. Instead of buying it now, you have the money to do it, but let me put it to the end of the month. And in that period, monitor how you're responding to it, because then how you respond to that purchase in the end of the month is a reflection of your relationship with delayed gratification.
Yes.
If I want to have a sweet, let me not have it now. Let me have it at the end of the week. When I arrived in London, they gave me those sweets. Right? And there was 24 of them.
Sure.
And I was like, I'm gonna have a packet a week. Packet a week. So hopefully they should last me for 12 weeks, which is 3 months.
Right?
Because I have a bad relationship with them as sweets. But then I was like, I found myself just I was like, what, these things need to go. So now I've just been like giving them away because it's, and that just goes to show that terrible relationship that I also have. My willpower to say no to the sweets is hectic. My willpower to say yes to drinking water is bad.
It's bad.
And so now, that act of, okay, you have the money now to buy the shoe. You don't have to buy it now. Put it to
you're
the end
exercising
of the month.
your willpower there.
Exactly. Just put it to the end of the month. If you want to go on a date with yourself to spoil yourself, don't do it now. Say I'll do it at the end of the month. And that kind of also regulates that dopamine, because now the dopamine hits and the hormone scale is probably out of whack. But the questions that were here, man, that I thought would be a nice introspective thing just for people also at home were, let me just read them out. So it's, how do you maintain hope and effort in a relationship when gratification is delayed, and what do you do when the reward doesn't match the wait, right? But I think this can also just be altered in the sense of, how do you maintain hope and effort with yourself, right? When gratification is delayed, and what do you do when the reward doesn't match the wait? Like for example, I was waiting over a year to get robed. So while in that journey, the question of, what if when I get into full membership, I don't feel what I thought I would feel, because that's a big thing. You wait for the date, it's in 2 weeks, you get excited, yes, it's coming in 2 weeks. But then what do you do when the date is at a restaurant that you don't think is the one or is fancy, right? So that's the first question. And then the other one is read more. How do you deal with the self-blame that often accompanies disappointments? So how do you deal with the self-blame that often accompanies relationship disappointments? And how do you differentiate between what's in your control and what isn't? I think we had touched on it, but I think this one is more so on when you get disappointed in it, now from the person who gets disappointed in the relationship, because that messes with you as well. There's that video by Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you saw it. I posted it, where he speaks about like betrayal. He says when someone betrays, when someone betrays you or disappoints you, it messes with how you look at them.
Yes.
To an extent, it almost makes you start looking inward to say, what is it about me that makes them feel like they could disappoint me?
Yeah.
Or what is it about me that makes them feel like they could betray me? Like, is there something that I need to do? Is it me? And do I carry this thing into the next relationship?
Yeah.
Because if I meet with Simphiwe treats me like crap, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah, is it me?
Because that messes with you.
Yeah, like if every guy you're meeting is just smashing and leaving, who's the problem?
You. Or if all your friends keep betraying you, you're like, how does that make sense? What is it about me? So how do you deal with the self-blame that often accompanies relationship disappointments? And how do you differentiate between what's in your control, what isn't? I think we'll then, again, relate it to yourself to say, how do you deal with the self-blame?
Yeah.
When, and how do you differentiate? Because like I said, not everything is within your control. So you set an expectation and you action it, and the reality kind of allows it, but the other side of reality throws you off.
Yeah.
It says, you want to grow roses. There's no roses here.
There's no roses here.
And your expectation is already high. So how do you deal with that disappointment? Have you dealt with that, bro? Like when you're like, I have this expectation, I want to do something, and then unfortunately,
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, but it's not within your control.
Let me see.
And then what's the other one?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just acceptance,
Okay.
Yeah, it's just accepting. It's okay. You know what? It's not in my control. Like, because I think for me also, it's usually what I try to do is whatever I'm doing, just trying to do it at the best of my ability.
Okay.
Because then I know that to say, if let's say for instance, I don't know, I'm doing something, I do at the best of my energy, my efforts, my everything.
Yeah.
And that thing still doesn't work out, then I won't now blame myself to say, but then I didn't
put in. Yes.
Because then now if you obviously now let's say for instance a gym, right? Let's say you say, okay, I want to lose weight, and I want to go in every day until I lose weight. And then you go in every day, there are everything. But then it just happens that when the day comes, you still haven't lost weight.
Yeah, the desired one, yeah.
Yeah, But now when you look back, I don't think, for me at least, I won't be mad at myself to say, but then damn, I didn't lose weight, But I'll be happy to say I put in.
My all, yeah.
Yeah, when I went to the gym every day, I left it I left everything there. You see? Because then if you say, I want to go to the gym, you get there, you get like a half-hearted effort, you don't put your all. When it's funny, because then when the day comes and you didn't lose weight, you're still gonna get disappointed, know, and now you're gonna be mad at yourself to say, but then if I just put more effort on Friday, if I just had put more effort on Saturday, I wouldn't be here. So it kind of like, for me at least, that's how I know to say, okay, if I go to the gym, always put in maximum effort, even if it's like a short workout in terms of time, I can do 15, I can do 20 or whatever. But then also that just depends how my day is, right? I can't really control.
Yeah.
If I have a meeting at work or I have to be somewhere, okay, sharp. But now it's a thing of, okay, in this 20 minutes,
how much are you putting in?
Let me destroy chest.
Yeah.
In 20 minutes. Because once the 20 minutes is finished, I'll be like, damn, my chest is pumped in 20 minutes. Imagine how much I could have done in an hour. You see, so I think for me, that's how I usually do my things. So say, okay.
Acceptance.
Yeah. To say, okay, listen, these are the cards I'm dealt with. I have only 20 minutes, or I have, what is it now? September, I have 4 months to lose weight. How much weight can I lose? Let me dedicate myself 5 days a week at gym. How much weight can I actually lose? By the time you get to December, you won't now say, but then I slacked off. You're like, actually, I went in every day. I gave it my all. And I lost 2 kgs. Okay, sharp. Or maybe you wanted to lose 10, but you only lose 7. You're still going to be proud to say, listen, actually, if you look at my effort, I was there. I left it all there. On the table, Now, it just so happens that I only managed to get 7 and not 10. But, okay, cool. Next year, we do 3.
We'll try.
We at 10.
And that's big.
Yeah.
That's big. I think for your ability to get to a place of acceptance also speaks to the relationship you have with yourself. Because ultimately, you can't lie to yourself.
That's my thing. Away,
you can't lie to yourself.
Like if you know what you're not giving 100%, you know. You can't say, but then I gave 100%.
You can tell people that, but unfortunately, there was also that video about confidence and competence.
Okay.
Which spoke about confidence is basically your confidence in something speaks on the competence you have on something. So if I say Sim, message mean boy, lift that 20 kilogram.
Yeah.
The confidence you have to lift the 20 kilogram speaks to your competence. You've done it before.
And
you know you've done it before. So you won't even hesitate. You'll be like, okay, I know I can do it. And you're going to be confident.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when you fake it, you're like, no, I can lift 20 kilogram. I might not say lift the thing up, but internally, I actually can't lift 20 kilogram.
Cool.
Your confidence is actually low. The confidence you portray in public might be,
something
of this
else,
thing. But unfortunately, the real confidence comes from it's internal, and it speaks to the competence. And I think if we have to put ourselves in positions whereby you prove to yourself every single day that I have what it takes.
Yeah.
You need to put in the work.
Yeah.
I have what it takes to walk 30 minutes a day. Then put in the work. Do it for long enough, and you'll look back and say,
actually,
I can't do this. Running, if you want to run and you say, I want to run 5 kilometers and I'm going to put in an hour a day, and I've done it in the past. You put in the work and you say, okay, I'm going to try to get to 5 kilometers. I remember the last year, there was a challenge I was doing. I wanted to run 3 kilometers in 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And the first day I ran 1.98 kilometers. Bro, I died. I was like, nah. But I was like, you know what? I have to go back. And I went back. And at first I was running 20 minutes. And then I kept cutting it down up until I got to run 3 kilometers in 15 minutes.
Yes.
And the confidence built up as I was running more. And I'm like, okay, today I ran 17 minutes. Can I cut the 2 minutes? Okay, let me try push. And that's just about, and that speaks to, if we can do that for every domain in our lives, it then allows you to have a better relationship and expectation management. Because I'm going to set this expectation to lose weight. But inside you're like, you're not going to do it. And eventually it's going to fuel disappointment. Because you're going to disappoint yourself. Every single day. And when you get to, like you're saying, even if you say, I want to lose 10 kilograms and you lose 7, but when I go to you did the work. You've left it all on the table. You're not going to be as disappointed when you eventually get there. And the ability to accept the situation or the outcome is a lot more easier to accept. Because like I did what I could, everything else was not within our control. And we always want to look at what we can't control, and the things that we can control, we don't really give much attention to. So, but yeah, man, big props. But I just wanted to touch on that confidence and competence thing.
I think before you do the things, even like within, like you said, right? Like if you know that you've given it your all, you left it everything on the table. Same thing with relationships.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like if you're in a relationship with someone or you in a talking stage, and whatever, like if you give it your all, you say, okay, listen, you know what? I want to be the best boyfriend to this girl.
Yeah.
And I mean, best boyfriend is not buying gifts every day or buying flowers every day. Just being the best boyfriend is being the best boyfriend, you know? Now, if you are the best boyfriend and things don't go well, you guys end up breaking up, you'll be, more
accepting,
because it's okay, you know what? Things didn't work out, but I loved this person. I gave it my all. Sure, we didn't work out, but sharp, because now if you say you with someone and you're not giving it your all, if things now you guys break up and whatever, you're always going to have that what if,
I regret,
and then that's when you now get like these stalker people trying to come back and, I still love you, win me back with the speaker and whatever,
the window.
So it's that thing, because then they know deep down that I actually didn't give my all, and they said, no, now I'm changed, I'm going to be a better person, whatever, but if it's okay, you know what? Here's this person, I loved them, I gave it my all, we did whatever, if things end, you're not gonna regret. I mean, you may it hurts and whatever. Those are just normal feelings that everyone feels, you know what I mean? So, but then you'll be more inclined to accept, okay, then I guess it just wasn't meant.
And more than it not being meant, maybe the person was just not patient enough to wait for you to become what they wanted. And I think when you have those set up where you're with someone or you're pursuing someone and they have this idea of what they want you to become, but unfortunately you can't be there yet. And they decide, I want to leave. And then you think to yourself, what could I have done differently? I think when you come and you say, there's nothing I could have done differently. I've given them everything within, firstly, the expectation they had of me was this. This was my reality, and these were my actions to try to get to that expectation. But unfortunately, they weren't patient enough to allow me to grow and to get to this point. So if I've given it my all, then I've given it my all, and it's a nice foundation to have.
Just
when it comes to navigating. But but I mean the urge, I think most importantly, I think if we can engage with those questions, if the people watching can just engage with those questions, understand your relationship you have with patients, because ultimately that speaks to how you engage with or how you navigate through the different areas of your life, at work, relationship, friendships, family as well, and having patience. They say patience is a virtue, And in my mother's famous words, patience is the name of the game. And I think if you can hack the game, you need to hack the patience, practicing it.
That willpower, man.
That willpower. But is there anything you wanna share in closing, my brother?
Nah. Just putting work on that willpower thing. Just find something. I think for me, like I said, gym works. Other people might find different things that works for them. But like I was saying, I think this is the best time to live in. Everything is so easy. Like you have Ubers, Uber Eats, what, Tinder, all the
Everything
things.
is so easy to come by.
Access, it's easy, know. So, but now it has a negative relationship with our willpower
and patience.
So that takes us. You have to be conscious. You have to know, and you have to have. You have to be intentional to say, okay, I want to work on my patience. I want to work on my willpower.
Because it's not automated.
Yeah, it's not automated. You see what I mean?
Actually, now it's challenged the most. As you're saying, it's challenged the most.
Exactly. So you have to be conscious about it. To say, I'm going on a walk, not for vibes. I'm going on a walk because I want to challenge myself. I'm doing this because I want to challenge myself. And if that's the goal, if that's the aim, then you won't leave. If that's the thing, right? If you don't feel challenged and you leave, you're going to feel like you've left something,
on the table.
You could have done more, and then that's gonna haunt you to say, but then. Let me go back, and then you
can do more. You can do way. Like when people say you can do way more than you think, they're right. Like you can do so much more. It's just about like what you're saying, being conscious firstly, and basically understanding that you are at war. You are constantly at war. If you don't know you're at war, then you're on the wrong side of the war. So let's not prioritize convenience as much as we do now. Life isn't meant to be easy. It's about acknowledging and accepting the fact that difficulties are part of it, and hacking that willpower, practicing a lot more patience, and being more intentional about what we want. And remembering the formula, it's about expectations, it's reality, and it's about two sides of reality: the side we can control, the things we can't, and also most importantly, the actions that we put into play to getting to those expectations. Speaks to the number of patients. So, man.
Easy.
Big props. All the best to everyone. Let us know how the questions
the willpower
treat you, and how everything is, man.
But willpower exercises.
But we're out. Peace.
Away.